Hiya, Jason the Golf Principles here, and today we're going to look at probably one of the most anticipated launches of product this year, the new SM5 wedges by Vokey titleist. So I'm just going to explain to you the bounce options, alright? It's slightly changed this year from last year, so it's all about the grind. It's kind of the same bounce numbers, but the grinds have changed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go sort of top to bottom. You've got your traditional low bounce grind, which has got literally 4 degrees of bounce on it, which comes in the 58 and the 50 and the 60. There's no 64, it's only 62 this year, that's got some bounce. But the interesting one is the new K grind. You can tell because it's got a little bit of obviously the stamp on what grind it is on the back left there. The K grinds come out of the Wedgeworks program. It's got a slightly wider flange. You can see it's got a little bit of a lip there. This is what a lot of guys like Adam Scott use. Great in a bunker, a little bit of bounce, 11 degrees on this. Comes in 60 and 58 as well. Now, that's going to be really popular for guys that want a little bit of flange relief and who are good in bunkers, who want to feel a little bit more sort of like shape through it. It's not going to dig, it's not going to slide, it's just going to get out. So that's great in those conditions, good in wet turf as well. So that's a great product. That's actually my wedge, shouldn't say that. Then you go into the M grind, which is more your traditional grind. You see that? It's got the heel relief, what some would call it a bit of a C grind, depending on how you see it. That's more along the lines of neutral, slider, slightly digger as well, can get away with that grind as well. That's good for pretty much most conditions. And then you move into the F grind, which is your traditional, no relief either way, pretty much neutral all across the board. Again, neutral to slider, this is good for. It's not great for the digger. You probably want a bit more bounce and curvature and relief with the digger. Now, understand where you are as a player. Are you a digger? Does that mean you come in and you mark the front of the club up? If you want to just do a little bit of a test, put some foot powder again, my favourite topic, foot powder. Put the foot powder on the bottom of the club, or some chalk, hit some shots and see where you contact the club. If it's more towards the front edge of the club, that means you're a digger. If it's towards the back end of the club, you're a slider, neutral, probably even more, might even be a flicky one. Alright? Now if you're in between the middle, guess what? That means you're neutral. So you can pick either way around. If you're a good player, I'm talking to good players out there, you probably want to have 4 or 5 options. Right? You go to a golf course on the links, it's going to be tight and dry and bouncy. You go to inland where it's still wet and mushy, even though we had a good weekend of weather, you want some bounce. So if you're a good player, you need to have a toolbox that's got 4 or 5 options in there that you can switch, whether it's loft issues, 50, 54, 58, or you're going to go sort of 52, 60, 56, or 62, 58, 54, whatever it may be. Give yourself some options so you can adjust your game to the golf course. But that's where these guys are pretty much kings right now, is that the grinds and the way they've done the loft splits means you can go across the board. Obviously shaft wise, it's a standard wedge shaft with a little Vokey sticker on it. The grip's got the BV, so if you like, a classic sign on it, fine. But the heads are very, very cool. Comes in a black finish as well, which is quite a matte finish, which does rusty or go raw. And then you've got the champagne gold and the traditional tour chrome. But very exciting launch this year for these guys. I think this is going to be a monster wedge for the year. But work out what grind you are, work out what bounce you are, and then from there you'll get good results. Thanks for watching.